You're in the shower, or you're lying in bed staring at the ceiling, or you're on the bus looking out the window at nothing, and without warning, you're gone, somewhere else entirely. You're having a conversation that never happened, winning an argument from 3 years ago, rehearsing a speech to someone who will never hear it, living a version of your life that simply doesn't exist, and then you snap back. And there's this weird feeling that settles in, part relief, part something that almost feels like grief. Because for a moment, just a moment, that fake world felt more real than the one you're actually standing in. I want to talk about what that actually is, because most people brush it off as daydreaming and move on. But it's not really daydreaming, is it? Not in the light, floaty sense. What you're doing is far more detailed than that. You're building entire worlds inside your head. It's worth sitting with for a second. There's a part of your brain called the default mode network. It switches on when you're not focused on anything external, when you're just existing, just thinking. For some people, this network doesn't just quietly hum, it builds. It runs full scenarios. Psychologists call it counterfactual thinking. Your brain running alternate versions of reality, not to torture you, to learn, to process what happened, to prepare for what might. Think of it like a flight simulator. A pilot doesn't practice in a real plane every single time. They practice in a simulation first, so that when the moment comes, their body already knows what to do. That's what your brain is doing when it builds these scenarios. It's rehearsing. It's trying to make sure that when the real moment arrives, you're not caught completely off guard. The problem is, sometimes the simulator becomes the destination. You rehearse the conversation so many times that you never actually have it. You imagine the success so clearly and so completely that the actual work starts to feel less urgent. You replay the hurt so often that you stop moving forward because some part of you is still standing in that moment. The tool that was designed to prepare you quietly starts to trap you instead. And there's something else underneath all of this, something worth being honest about: control. In your actual life, you cannot control how people respond to you. You cannot rewind. You cannot guarantee outcomes. You cannot make someone understand you, no matter how clearly you speak. But in your head, you're the writer, the director, the lead. You get to say the thing that lands perfectly. You get to be heard. You get to win. And your brain craves that, especially if real life has spent a long time making you feel small or invisible or misunderstood. The scenarios become the one place where you finally have agency. And that is not pathological. That is deeply, completely human. But there is a cost. When you spend too long inside those scenarios, the line starts to blur. You feel emotions in the simulation and confuse them for emotions from real experience. You find yourself irritated at someone for something they only did in your head. You feel let down when reality doesn't follow the script you wrote at 2 a.m. Slowly, the inner world starts to feel safer than the outer one, because the outer one is messy, unpredictable, and it doesn't always give you the ending you deserve. So what do you do with this? Not suppress it, not shame yourself every time your mind drifts, but understand what these scenarios are actually reaching for and meet that need somewhere real. Start by getting it out of your head. When you catch yourself deep in a scenario, write it down, not to dissect it or fix it, just to give it somewhere to land outside of you. This is what psychologists call expressive writing, and it works because your brain replays things on loop when it feels unresolved. The moment you put it into words on a page, some part of your mind stops pulling you back to it. The loop closes. Then ask yourself one honest question. Is this scenario preparing me for something or protecting me from something? Preparation looks like imagining a hard conversation and then going and having it. Protection looks like imagining it 400 times and never picking up the phone. Both feel the same from the inside. Only one of them actually moves you forward. You can also just set a limit. You don't have to eliminate the scenarios. They're not the enemy. But you can give yourself 10 minutes, let the mind go where it goes, and then consciously come back. This teaches your brain that these places are tools you can visit, just don't live there. And when you notice you've drifted, come back gently. Feel your feet, notice your breath, look at something in front of you, not as a punishment, just as a reminder. This moment is real. This body is real. This life, the actual one, not the simulated version, this is what's real. Think of your mind as a river. The scenarios are the current, sometimes slow and almost peaceful, sometimes fast enough to pull you under. You cannot stop the river, but you don't have to be swept away by it either. You can watch it from the bank, acknowledge it, and then choose your own direction. The scenarios will keep coming. That's okay. They were never the problem. The problem is only when you forget that they are rehearsals, not the real thing. You spent a long time in those places, and maybe some of them were beautiful. Maybe some of them kept you going when nothing else could. There's no shame in that. But your actual life is here, right now. Unscripted, uncertain, and sometimes genuinely hard. But it is yours. And unlike any scenario your mind has ever built, it can actually go somewhere. That's the one thing the simulation can never give you. The real thing.